Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 14, Episode 6, Family Affair. As usual, I have not seen the episode yet, so here's hoping that we stay out of the gutter. Alright, let's get started. Okay. We are just starting out the gate with Shane. I don't know. I'm hoping it can only go up from here, but I fear that I will be proven wrong. It is Annabelle's 6th birthday. You know, Emily's like a party planner too. She does it all. She brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and throws a party afterward. So Shane walks in, and I did a still shot, you guys, because for some reason I'm obsessed with trying to figure out what his t-shirt says. Somebody please tell me. Mostly I'm just trying to figure out if it's like really stupid. So he walks in and he's carrying some stuff like a case of water and stuff for the party. And she goes, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. I need you to take over." He goes, "I don't know what to do. You're the party planner." She goes, "You keep saying that, but then I ask your opinion on stuff and you just say, I don't know." And then she said, "Kiss me." And he said, "No, I only do that on special occasions." And she's like, "You're such a dick." But then they both laughed. Like, this is how they play. It's so gross. So many of you guys have said that it's painful to watch. I couldn't agree more. And last week I said he is doubling down on season 1, and there is a part of me that respects that. He is unapologetically an ass. And I can work with that. What I meant was, okay, you're this way. At least I understand it now. There aren't any different sides to you. You're not complicated. I kept trying to figure out, what is he thinking? Why does he appear to resent his wife? There must be a reason, and I want to get to the bottom of it, and I want to understand, because generally speaking, human beings are complicated with complex feelings and thoughts. And so what I meant last week was, I get it now. I can work with that. There's nothing to try and figure out. That's just who you are. You're just a dick. My new thing to try and figure out now is, Emily, what is your deal? I'm not victim shaming. Don't get me wrong. I am now just genuinely curious about what things were like when you fell in love with Shane. And were all these red flags there then? Or is this some new development? I am much more curious about what's in Emily's mind, because I have to tell you, she seems really sane to me. And she married Shane. So I want to know why. I need answers. Okay, so we get quick check-ins with Gina, who is getting her kids ready for Annabelle's birthday party, and Bronwyn, who is getting her kids ready for, well, I think she was getting her kids ready for the party too. Maybe not. She was just talking about how all their toys are broken because they've been hand-me-downed for like 6 generations. Not generations, but you know what I mean. Through 6 kids. I don't know. Now we are going on a little walk with Shannon and Kelly. We're probably going to be cutting back and forth because we go right back to the party now and all the guests are arriving. You guys, Annabelle is so cute. How did she come from Shane? I don't know. She's being like the perfect little hostess to her friends. She's like, okay, we have face painting and we've got nails and oh my God, she's so cute. Okay, so Gina arrives late with her daughter and they're already singing happy birthday to Annabelle. And Gina, damn. Girl, I get it. You got 3 little kids. Husband's not at home. You're doing everything all by yourself. But I'm sorry. Because actually she kind of looks cute. But she's like, I'm sorry I'm late. And Emily's like, that's fine. Emily, who, by the way, looks perfectly put together. She's got an adorable t-shirt with a glittery sign that says Unicorn Squad because the party's all unicorn themed. She put on this entire party. She also has 3 little kids and no husband. But boy, can she keep it together. But yeah, Gina didn't have a stitch of makeup on. She's got jeans and a t-shirt. She couldn't even put her contact lenses in. And then she's telling her little daughter, oh, go to the face painting. Like the face painter was putting little unicorns on their cheek and stuff like that. And her daughter said, I want you to do it too. And Gina's like, all right, I'll do it too. Maybe she could get the face painter to just do like eyeshadow, blush, and a little mascara. No, like I said, she actually looks kind of cute. Cutting back to the walk with Kelly and Shannon, Kelly said, Gina was really annoying me. Listen, chick, if you have your life together, that's fine. Then you can give me advice. But I didn't want to hear from her. But then Shannon said, oh yeah, her life's a real mess right now. My attorney friend called me and she didn't make her court date. What are you doing, Shannon? You now know the whole story. Gina didn't just blow off a court date. You know what happened. And I paused right now so that I could talk to you guys. So I don't know if this is going to turn into her then defending Gina. It might. Last week she kind of did. I'm more bothered by the fact that you are presenting this to Kelly as gossip. You know, oh yeah, her life's falling apart and she didn't even show up to a court date. Like if she said, oh yeah, her life's kind of falling apart right now. And guess what her lawyer did to her? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, I'll get over it. So anyway, Kelly's like, yeah, I don't know about Gina. Shannon said, Emily called me the next day to tell me that her apology was sincere, but I don't know. And she goes, and then she's got that burlesque thing. And Kelly goes, oh yeah, I'm going to that. And she goes, are you close with her? And she goes, well, you know, Bronwyn and I went to go see her practice, and I give her a lot of credit. I don't think I could do that. Back to the birthday party, Shireen is kind of helping out, and she's like, all right, everyone line up for the piñata. And in the kitchen, Emily and Gina are talking. Side note, Gina's face has been painted like a tiger. So, you know what? She got a full face of makeup anyway. Gina's telling Emily about how she didn't know she did anything wrong legally, and she goes, I was driving around that day. Then all of a sudden, Shannon called me, and she's like, are you sitting down right now? Like, they would have come and arrested me in front of my children. Like, put my hands behind my back. That's terrible. And Emily goes, yeah, I got taken away in an ambulance once in front of my kids. What? Okay, I love both Emily and Gina, so I'm going to take both of their sides on this one. Just hear me out, hear me out. Initial thought was, are you kidding, Emily? She's talking about having your children see the police come and handcuff you and take you away. Kind of doesn't compare to like having a medical emergency. And also, Emily, like, why can't you say, oh, I know, that's horrible. I remember one time, you know, this happened and it was also scary for the kids. Gina was like accusing her of, you know, not even listening to her. And it did kind of seem like she was preoccupied. On the Emily side of things, it could just be that maybe somehow like in her brain, she was just thinking, yeah, that's terrifying for the kids. I remember also being taken away on a stretcher in front of my kids. That was also terrifying for my children. She didn't elaborate, so maybe she was unconscious even. That would have been just as bad, especially for their kids who are all about the same age, very young. So they might not even understand a police taking them away if it happened, and thank God it didn't, but if it happened in front of them, she at least was conscious and could have been able to say, oh, it's okay, honey, mommy's gonna go with them and I'm going to be back real soon. Like, she could have comforted them. Emily maybe couldn't. If they saw her, I don't know, bleeding or unconscious or something, and she couldn't even comfort them, you know. I mean, Shane could, but like, would he have? I'm questioning everything he does now. So that's all. I'm sure you guys have your opinions on this. Let me know. But I can see aspects of both sides of this. Well, Gina got her back 2 seconds later because she said, I went to the furniture store with Shannon. She's like my best friend now. Emily goes, oh, did you just say that? That's kind of rude. And she goes, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I like to bust your balls. You're irreplaceable. Not so sure you were kidding, Gina. But you should proceed cautiously with your newfound friendship with Shannon. Cut back to Shannon and Kelly, and Shannon is trying to arrange this spiritual retreat. It's like you work out, but then it's also very spiritual. She thinks it'll be good for Gina, who needs a little break from the drama, but with all the ladies going. So I don't know how that's going to help Gina. Shannon said, it's in Arizona. And Kelly goes, oh, my hometown. Yeah, I think that sounds great. Shannon, so I think it would be fun if all of the ladies go. Kelly, yeah, that sounds great. Shannon, including Vicki. Oh, God. The look on Kelly's face. And then she said, I will never speak to her again. She goes, I know. This is going to be their first little trip, isn't it? It's going to be horrible. It is going to be so bad, you guys. Shannon really wants Kelly to go, and she's like, I think you could get to a good place if you just give it a try. Kelly ends up saying, I'll think about it, but I'm not promising anything right now. And she looks visibly pained at the thought of going somewhere with Vicki. Okay, now we are at Tamara and Eddie's house, and it's lunchtime. Eddie's grilling burgers, and Spencer comes downstairs. He just woke up. Eddie asks him to take out the garbage. He does. And through Tamara's confessional and the scene a little bit between the both of them, we learn that he goes to school full-time. He's working at Starbucks, and now he's a trainer there, so he's making a little bit more money because now he's learned everything enough to train others. Sounds like he's a smart kid. He sounds like he's a disciplined kid. Tamara said that he broke up with his girlfriend to concentrate more on school. In Tamara's confessional, the producer said, where does he get that from? And Tamara's like, if I know. So Tamara brings up Ryan and asks him, have you talked to Ryan? And he said, no. He said, I called him a Nazi, which I didn't. And through this conversation in this scene, it is clear to me that this kid's pretty intelligent and somewhat insightful, I would say. He's got some theories about what's going on with Ryan, and he's like, I would like an apology, but I don't think I'm going to get one. I don't know. He seemed like super mature to me. He even was like cutting Ryan some slack for having daddy issues and issues based on the way he was raised. And Tamara's like, oh, that was my fault then. And he goes, I didn't say that. And she goes, yeah, it was my fault. Probably. I'm not saying that either, but maybe. Oh my God. Tamara even goes on to say, well, I want you guys to talk. You're brothers. And Spencer goes, half brothers. And she goes, but you have the same mother and you need to talk. Well, maybe you should be the one to initiate that. And he's like, why? She said, because you're the more mature one. And he goes, oh, how sad is that? How old is he? Like 30? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, and I'm 18. So there you have it. Now we are at Kelly's house, and she and Jolie are sitting at the dining room table with all this this makeup. I think Jolie is doing Kelly's makeup. I don't know, but there's like 8 bottles of foundation, so I don't know if it's like new stuff she got and she's trying to find out what she likes. I don't know yet, but Kelly is on the phone FaceTiming her brother JR. Okay, so her brother JR lives in Arizona, and she tells him about the wellness retreat that Shannon is putting together for the ladies. And he said, oh yeah, we have a lot of that kind of thing out here. And she said, well, I was just thinking it would be nice to go and, see my family. And he said, yeah, come out, visit with us. He said, I talked to Eric and he said he was going to call you and apologize. Then Kelly gives us a little backstory. We saw her mother, Bobby, a lot. I didn't even know her brother also lived there. He was never on camera. Apparently, her mom and her brother moved in with her and Michael and Jolie. According to Kelly, it was supposed to be temporary, just a couple months, and like a year and a half later, she started to feel like she was being taken advantage of by them. She got in a big fight with her mother about it. And they moved back to Arizona, and the last time she talked to her mom was like 2 years ago. So her brother said that, the mom is a little bit fragile right now. She's got low blood pressure and things like that. They're worried about her medication. In any case, he's like, we just don't want to upset her. But yeah, I think you guys we just need the whole family back together again. Kelly's crying a little bit and she goes, yeah, and I want her to see Jolie. And he said, and she wants to see Jolie. She misses her. Now, Jolie is sitting right there. Kind of kills me again. She looks like she might start crying. And then Jolie has her own confessional. And speaking of mature kids, she thinks that her grandmother and her mom can work things out if they just kind of get over things in the past. If they talk it over, they can just get over all the negativity, and she's a sweet kid. All right, so Kelly says, oh, Jer, thank you for being such a good brother. I love you. And he says, I love you too. And they hang up and she says to Jolie, all right, I'm going to go downstairs. And she grabs a bottle of wine and she goes out of her, she has that beach condo. She goes outside the sliding doors and down this circular staircase inside. And I'm thinking, is that all still part of her home? But you have to go outside to get to the next level? I couldn't figure it out. And then she walks in and sitting on the couch, Dr. Brian Regan. Oh, hey, baby. It's so gross. I hope I never find him sitting on one of my couches when I walk in a room. So apparently, because he's only there 2 days a week, he has rented the condo below hers. Yeah. Fun. Oh my God, you guys, I think I'm going to throw up. Kelly says to him, I just told Shannon what we did this morning. We get a little flashback to her with Shannon on the walk and her telling Shannon that they had sex all morning. And Shannon goes, really? Like how long? And she goes, like 2 hours. Cut back to Kelly and Dr. Brian Regan. And he's like, oh, and he rubs her knee. Oh my God, you guys, I'm sorry. He's so creepy. I swear to you, I am not a prude. If this guy was Brad Pitt, I'd be like, all right, okay. I see you, girl. I get it. But Dr. Brian Regan? No, thank you. Yet again, Dr. Brian Regan pulls out some decent advice. He reminds her that you only have one mother. He lost his dad suddenly, and you just can't get that back. And so you have to ask yourself, if she were to die tomorrow, am I okay with where we are? And he's like, you might have to just be the bigger person. And so I don't know. I mean, maybe she's keeping him around for the advice. He does give you good advice, but girl, just get a therapist. Okay, the next scene is another walking scene. This time it is with Bronwyn and her mother, Dr. Deb. My initial reaction to Dr. Deb after I saw her for the first time was, oh, she's going to be like hippie cool, kind of chill, easygoing. I had a much different first vibe from her. I thought, oh, I'm gonna love her. Then we had that scene with her and Bronwyn where she was taking absolutely no responsibility for Bronwyn's childhood. Again, in a negative way. She takes responsibility for her childhood, but she thinks it was great. She taught herself reliance. She thinks that everything was perfect. So my opinion changed drastically. Also, if you recall, I got myself all in a tizzy about the plastic straw. So please tell me that this is not a plastic straw in Dr. Deb's cup. Okay? You already are a disappointment to me, Dr. Deb. If you're going to be so environmentally conscious that you are telling the waitress to take back the straw, even though, as everybody has pointed out, it was already in your drink and they are just going to throw it away. Now you have your own plastic straw? What do you really stand for, Deb? This is what I'm trying to figure out. Are you a cool girl or are you a troublemaker? Oh my God, Dr. Deb. Okay, so she was babysitting for Bronwyn's twins. I think those are the 5-year-old boys. Of course, according to Dr. Deb, oh, everything was cute and it was fun and everything is great. And she talked about her sister. And Bronwyn's like, yeah, so when did she see my kids? And she's like, oh, well, I don't know. She was there when I got there. And Bronwyn goes, yeah, I was pretty upset about that. And she goes, I know you were. In the confessional, Bronwyn tells us that she had her mother babysitting her twin boys, but her mother dropped them off at her grandparents' house, went I don't know where, and while she was gone, her sister, Bronwyn's aunt, came over to the house and was around the boys, and then Dr. Deb came home and doesn't know how long she was with them or whatever. And I guess maybe we'll find out more because I paused the show right now. But Bronwyn said that was her one hard and fast rule, that she does not want that aunt anywhere around her children. I mean, let's face it, there is a smidge in me that thinks, Bronwyn, why do you leave your children with your mother? Because she doesn't really seem like she can be trusted. You know how she raised you. Okay, so I'm guessing between what the mom is saying and what Bronwyn is saying that her aunt may have some sort of a mental illness. Bronwyn said she can't control what she says. She can't stop herself from saying something inappropriate. I'm not sure if she means like a Tourette's syndrome kind of a thing, or if it's that in conjunction with other things, because she also said she also can't stop herself from saying bad things about me to my children. And Bronwyn starts to tell her about what she's done in the past. And I think Dr. Deb is like, oh yeah, she won't do that anymore. Okay. And Bronwyn said, I don't want to take that chance with my kids because I know what it was like for me. And that's why I had that rule. And, oh, look, it's a bee. Yeah, Dr. Deb, with the attention span of a gnat, has lost interest in her daughter voicing her concerns because a bee flew by. It kind of makes me wonder if there's something going on with Dr. Deb. She might have like a narcissistic personality disorder. She's excited because it's pollinating a flower. Yay, pollinating a flower. We got the bees back. We got a bee back. Something's wrong with you. So Bronwyn, who I think is doing a pretty good job of expressing herself to her mom, said, every time I try to bring stuff up to you, you shut me down, and I'm trying to be better about that. So I bring things up to you, but you just shut me down again. So you know what? I'm going to shut down. And Dr. Deb's response was, okay. Okay, so the next scene is at Tamara's house. Shannon comes over. From the way they're dressed, it looks like maybe they were going to go for a walk, but it is raining out. And so they're sitting in these two little chairs talking. And Tamara's asking Shannon, this retreat place, is it spiritual? Is it, So she tells her it is, but there's also other cool stuff to do. Like you walk in a honeycomb and then later you get to taste the honey. She said, I think Gina needs a break. And Tamara said, I need a break too. And she goes, you need a break? And this whole, I just hope all the drama just settles down a little. Like this whole thing with Vicki and Kelly. Tamara said, well, I got to tell you, I'm on Kelly's side with this. And Shannon said, well, I understand. And then we get flashbacks to the reunion when Vicki apologized and said, if something's just a rumor, that she doesn't know if it's true or not, that she's not going to say anything. And of course, Tamara was upset because she did the same thing about the rumor about Eddie being gay. Did not have proof, but spread the rumor anyway. So now Tamara is saying, but Vicki never learns her lesson. That's a thing. So it's interesting to me now that I know that they are wholeheartedly backing up Vicki and not Kelly. I am just anxiously awaiting to see what Kelly does to really screw things up, to change their minds. Okay, so after both of them saying that, yeah, they're going to tell Vicki that if she wants to be in this group of friends, she's going to need to swallow her pride a little bit. Tamara then calls Vicki on the phone and asks if she's at home and said that I've got Shannon here and we want to come over and talk. And Vicki said, yeah, sure, come on over. Now we have a little scene with Gina and Bronwyn. They are meeting at Bounce Society, which is a fitness workout on trampolines. Oh, okay, well, Gina needs to go throw up about a quarter of the way into the workout. It did look intense. She's like all sweaty and she had to stop and she's like, I think I'm going to puke. And then she's like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go throw up in the bathroom and come back. I'll feel better. And she did. I think she continued on with the workout. But anyway, now they're sitting down on the trampoline and it's time to talk. So Bronwyn talks about the fact that the next day she's having dinner with Shannon and Tamara, I think, and her mom. Her mom wanted to meet the women that she's been hanging around with lately. I wonder what they're going to think of Dr. Deb. That'll be interesting. But she invites Gina, but she can't because she has her kids. And then she said, when are you going to Vegas? And Bronwyn said, next Friday. And she said, yeah, I wish you could come. It's just going to be me and Kelly and Emily. Okay, that is going to be weird, you guys. Just the two of them to support poor Emily as she's being all sexy. Oh, that makes me sad. But Shannon wouldn't go. Tamara, I'm not sure why Tamara's not going. But Gina said, I was actually a little mad at Emily about that because she kept pushing that. And I told her, it's not a good time for me. I've been going through a lot of stuff. Gina keeps talking about how she doesn't understand how her friend doesn't see everything she's going through. I think the problem might be, Gina, that you don't see what your friend is going through either. You said she used to give you daily check-ins and all that stuff. And the fact that she's kind of not doing that right now, instead of just being mad about that, why don't you ask her what's going on with her? I know it's a bad time for Gina right now, but it's also a bad time for Emily, I think. I think something with her marriage is coming to a head. Anyway, they kind of laugh about Emily's whole show because I guess not Emily, but the other women are topless and they're making out with each other and stuff. And they're like, yeah, I don't even understand the whole thing. And Gina's like, yeah, I don't know. Usually it's the man, but I feel like she's having a midlife crisis. Listen, it was her 10th anniversary. She wanted to be doing that dance for her husband. He declined. So either you can think that's her having a midlife crisis or her obviously misguided attempt at rekindling something with her husband. I feel a lot of compassion for Emily. Okay, so Tamara and Shannon show up at Vicki's house and she's got a nice little spread for them to have lunch. And she's like, what have you guys been up to? Tamara said, well, I think I'm having PTSD because now I think Eddie's gonna die all the time. You know, they're telling us we should get our wills in order or something like that. And Vicki goes, oh, I want to be buried next to my mom in the wall. And Tamara said, I want to be stuffed. Shannon and Vicki are like, and she goes, yeah, I want to be taxidermied. Is that what it's called? Because, I get claustrophobic. In Tamara's confessional, she said, I just want to be stuffed and put in a corner somewhere. Just standing there like, oh, hey, it's mom. And she said, plus, I wouldn't mind torturing Eddie, especially if he remarries. If Eddie remarries, I don't think he's going to keep your taxidermied body in his new home. Okay, so Shannon tells her about this retreat in Arizona. And Vicki's like, oh, is it like spa treatments and everything? And she said, yeah, they have all the traditional spa treatments. And she said, and who's, is everybody going? Like Gina and Emily and Bronwyn or Boring Win? And Tamara goes, what did you just call her? And she said, oh, somebody said that. Boring Win. Somebody said that. And Tamara goes, you just said that. And she goes, oh no, I was just repeating what somebody else said. Okay, and this is the problem, Vicki. I mean, she's never ever gonna change. Why do they think she will? Anyway, Vicki's response to that is, oh, so what? You see what I mean? I think she likes that about herself. So she's not even gonna try to change. Shannon's trying to tell Vicki she wants the nastiness to go away. And she said, so you have to not react. She goes, well, I'm not going to just sit there and be her pincushion. And she said, I did it. Emily said all those nasty things about me on Twitter, and I did nothing in return. And guess what? She looks like a dumbass. So Tamara said, if she is dropping a bomb or throwing a grenade at you or whatever, you have to not react. Vicki's reply is, well, then somebody has to stop it. You guys have to be defending me then and say, Kelly, stop it. Shannon said, if nastiness is coming from any side, you're going to hear me say something. Vicki said, well, hopefully we're going to get over this because I have no desire to hurt Kelly Dodd. Okay, guys, it is time for dinner with Dr. Deb and some of the ladies. Anyway, I'm not sure who else is going. She said there was going to be 5 of them all together. So with her and her mom, and then I'm pretty sure she said Tamara and Shannon. I'm not sure who the fifth one is. Well, we'll find out. Bronwyn said that already her mom is, following them on Instagram and making sweet comments and everything. And then we see one. It's with Kelly, Shannon, Gina, and Bronwyn. And Dr. Deb's comment was, 4 smart women who look amazing. Okay, so it's Shannon, Tamara, and Kelly that are coming to meet her. And, it is all smiles and hugs. Oh, hi. And Kelly said she looks a little like Betsy Johnson, which a lot of you guys have said as well. And of course she does. And then Bravo shows us a side-by-side that really makes them look like twins. Oh my God, you guys. This dinner goes sideways fast. Dr. Deb says to Bronwyn, "Can I have my ring back?" And Bronwyn goes, "No, you can't. It's mine." And she goes, "It's my ring." First, the other 3 are kind of like, And then it gets so awkward that they all kind of clam up and just start watching the show. Bronwyn said, "She gave this to me for my birthday." And she said, she asked me for it. And then as she took it, and she goes, "I did not. You gave it to me. This was my birthday present." Well, she begged me. Nobody knows if they're supposed to be weighing in on this, or are they gonna both start laughing, or what is this? What is happening? Dr. Deb finally goes, "Give it to me." Bronwyn, "No." And she goes, "Well, then stop banging it on the table and drawing my attention to it." Oh my God. Universe, if you are listening to me right now, please let this be what Bronwyn's book is about, because I'm going to ask for it for Christmas. Bronwyn then in her confessional shows us the ring and she's like, "It's mine." It's also the size of a dinner plate. I don't think it's a diamond, but if it was a diamond that big, I get why she's keeping it. So then, things lighten up and Dr. Deb is babysitting again. Yeah, when Bronwyn is in Vegas, she's going to be watching the kids, so. Oh my God, you guys. The next scene is at Emily's house. Shane came home from I don't know where, and he kissed her. He kissed her like she was his wife. Now I'm totally confused. Way to throw a wrench in things, Shane. I don't want to get too excited. Let's just see what happens next. And he's back. That did not take long. She's like, "Look at my shoes." And he goes, "What?" And she's holding up these patent leather black ankle boots, super sexy. And she goes, "My boots for Vegas." And he goes, "Oh, they look like Wicked Witch shoes." There you are. Listen, you're not going to believe this, but for a second there, about 5 minutes ago, you blacked out and you kissed your wife on the mouth. I know, crazy, right? But you're back. Okay, so he says, they look like the shoes from the Wicked Witch of the West. And Emily looks at him and he kind of laughs and she walks away. I don't know if she's just used to being treated like this or what, but she's pretty unaffected by that. She just says, "Oh, come on, I'm going to put my shoes on. I'm going to show you." Emily, you know he doesn't care, right? So he's standing in the kitchen, eating something out of a bowl, and she puts these sexy boots on, and then she lays back on the couch and puts her legs up in the air, and he goes, "Oh, are you exhausted just putting the shoes on?" Probably trying to be sexy for you, idiot. Then she says, "Can you just come over here and talk to me? Why do you have to stand in the kitchen and eat?" Good God, does he have a tapeworm? Who eats that much? He is constantly eating. So very reluctantly, he comes and sits on the couch just about as far away from her as he could be. She said, "So I'm going to Vegas." Did I see him clap like this? Not this. Not even this. But was this how he was clapping? Oh, anyway, he then says, "Good, I can't wait." And she goes, "You're not going." I think that's what he meant, Emily. He can't wait till you're gone. So again, she lets that slide and she said, "So are you going to take care of the kids while I'm gone?" He deadpans, "No, I'm going to neglect them." She's like, I haven't seen you in 2 weeks and we don't talk. We don't communicate very well. Excuse me, I'm talking to you because now he's lost interest and he's on his phone. She's like, and the whole time you were studying, we didn't talk. And he goes, no, we didn't talk a lot, but we talked a little. And she said, and I didn't want to bother you while you were away because I didn't want you to come home and say, that's why you didn't pass the bar because I kept bothering you. And he said, no, but you said a lot of nasty things to me before I left. And she said, I don't remember that. And he goes, shall we review the texts? Oh my God, everybody's got the receipts, don't they? Even husbands against their wives. So she said, no, I don't want to. And he said, then you do remember. And then Bravo shows us one of the texts. Emily said, seriously, I've had it with you. Shane said, I'm trying to work through something, not arguing. Emily said, no, you're not. You want to complain. Get over yourself. And then she said, I don't give a... And it's bleeped out. I'm sure he hated that because he doesn't like cursing. Then Emily said, maybe there's some kind of a mediator, like the counseling, somebody who can help us communicate better with each other, because I feel hurt and resentful toward you, and I know you feel hurt and resentful toward me, and we're just not communicating that. And he said, oh no, I think you seem to communicate very well for yourself. That's not a bad thing, Shane. Maybe if you communicated your side as well as she is communicating hers, you guys could work it out. Probably not, because I think you're just a jerk. And I don't think you like your wife. And then in a very calm way, she said, I just don't like the way you talk to me sometimes. And he said, okay, now this is just turning into a Shane bashing session. Calm down. Calm down? I don't think she could be any calmer. Anyway, she just kind of goes on to say it's your tone and it's sarcasm all the time. Okay, then we get a confessional with Shane, and he said, okay, her using the word sarcasm is just a blanket excuse for everything. I want to know what everything is then. Shane said he's not nearly as sarcastic as Emily is making it seem. Oh my God. Was it Shane's idea to do confessionals? Because wow, he is just making himself look worse and worse and worse. So the next thing he says is, I'm not sarcastic all the time. Sometimes it's satire. Do you know what satire is? And the producer goes, I do. And he goes, it's joking at the expense of others. Back to Emily, she said, tell me you love me. And he goes, you love me. Are you a 7-year-old boy? Is that what's happening here? Maybe you think like lady parts are icky. I don't know. But here's what happens after he says, you love me. She goes, oh, and throws her head down like I'm exasperated, but also, okay. Like that gets her every time out of a bad mood or something. No, girl. The call is coming from inside the house, Emily. Get out. That is not cute. And I could be wrong. I often am, but I think that's her coping mechanism again. I think that if she tells herself it's just a joke and she knows it's a joke, even in the middle of her trying to have a serious conversation and be heard, if she still plays it off like it's light, then she doesn't have to face what is probably the bigger picture. I think it's a defense mechanism, and it's something she has probably learned over the course of a long period of time, and maybe it's also just her go-to. But yeah, another super fun and not at all painful scene to watch with Emily and Shane. Oh, we're checking back in with the dinner, and Dr. Deb passes a sack of rocks over toward Kelly, and Kelly's like, what is this? Rocks? And she goes, sacred rocks. And Kelly pulls one out, and she's like, oh, I used to love these when I was a kid. Yeah. Someone brings up the wellness retreat and asks Kelly if she's going to go, and she goes, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go. And Shannon's like, you don't have to talk to Vicki. And she goes, I don't think I even want to see her face. So Tamara said, can you be around her and just kind of act like she's not even there? Bronwyn said she thinks that Vicki is insecure, and I think they were telling Dr. Deb about the spreading rumor thing. I'm not sure if they did or not, because Dr. Deb said, that's the ego. And then she holds up her giant ego necklace. Yeah, you should know all about that, Dr. Deb. At least you've labeled yourself properly. Medicine woman with a giant ego. So Shannon gets up from the table to use the restroom, and she said, and when I come back, I hope that Miss Kelly Dodd has changed her tune. When Shannon's gone, Bronwyn said, I'll be there. I got your back. Tamara, I got your back. I'd be like, that's okay. I would be scared to have Tamara have my back. Anyway, Kelly said, okay, thank you. So I guess that means she's going to go. She wants to go to Arizona anyway to see her family, so I think it was probably a done deal. So Shannon comes back to the table and she's like, did you guys make any progress while I was gone? And they said, yeah, she's going to go. And she goes, oh, good. And then Bronwyn said, she's not a fan of mine either. Vicki doesn't like me either. Tamara, oh, yeah, and she's got a name for you, too. Oh, does she? What is it? Boring Win. Bronwyn goes, well, I'm not boring. And everyone's like, no, you're not boring. And she said to Kelly, so listen, I will have your back and I will deflect as much off of you and onto me as you want. So yeah, everybody's going to Arizona. And that is where this episode ends, you guys. Previews for next week. We get to see where things may have gone wrong with Kelly. I'll save it for next week. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to Jill Informed and give this video a thumbs up. As always, best part of it for me is to hear from you guys, so leave a comment down below. I will be back next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Bye.